What's up, guys? Shaman here. So you know how Pixel has ranked alphabet letters and how you can capitalize them on letters of the alphabet and stuff like that. Then a similar YouTuber by the name of I think Stefano, I can't really read Greek that well, did a video on ranking Greek letters on how you can capitalize them. So then I thought, you know, I'm Indian, so what if we rank Malayalam letters? Unfortunately, though, Malayalam letters do not have a capitalized version, per se. So instead what I decided to do is I have gathered a list of all 35 Malayalam letters, and I'm going to rank them based on how you can draw them, per se. You know my drift? We're going to be ranking the Malayalam letters on how you can draw them. And let's get that started. Now, keep in mind here, all of the Malayalam letters that we're going to be discussing today, there's 35 of them. So there's going to be and also some of them have different pronunciations. So I have the list here, and let's begin. Okay, so spot number 1 is going to go to Ra, which is this letter right here. It's fairly simple to draw. Ra is like the easy Malayalam letter to do, right? It's not too difficult to draw. Like if you're writing, for example, I don't really know how you write the word ba, or I think ba is going to come up later on, but it's fairly simple. Ra is just like, you just have to add a line here, then like add like a 2 thing or backward 6 next to it. So Ra is very easy, and I'd say it's worth it. Following Ra at spot number 2 is the other version of Ra, which is Ra. So it's basically just a circle, like that. Ra and Ra, the only difference between that and Ra is that this one has a thing. So in theory, this one should be higher, but I feel like this one is kind of easier to get right because you can just do the loop. This one is kind of hard to get like the measurements right. It actually, Ra is actually supposed to look more like this, Ra is supposed to look more like this, and then Ra is just more supposed to look like that. It's just kind of a confusing letter, but that's the difficulty with Malayalam letters, you know. Coming in at spot number 3, we have Ta, which is this letter. It's kind of like an M, basically, I guess you could say. The reason why it ranks higher above Ra and Ra is because it has like 2 additional circles. So it's kind of like if you just write the word Rama, like write this, Ra, and then you write, I actually don't know, or excuse me, Rata. That's how it look like, or Tara. Look like that. So Ta is a bit more confusing, but not as much as the letters we will get into later on. Spot number 4 gives us Da, which is just this with like a 3 on the end of it. So like again, it's fairly not that difficult. It's just kind of, it can look a little bit wonky, almost like a B in fact, but the way it doesn't look like a B is that these actually do not connect. So it's just really this. This is Da. That's what Da is. Spot number 5 gets us Da, as in not Da, Da. It basically looks like a W, kind of like that. Da was just a circle and a 3. Da is different. I'm talking about, so let me just show you. This is Da, and this is Da. They're 2 different pronunciations, so it can get a little confusing when you're trying to speak Malayalam, but I trust you, it's not that difficult. Spot number 6 gets us Na, which is pretty much the opposite of Da. It's just an M, kind of. Or excuse me, what am I saying? It's the opposite of Da. Basically, Da was a W, pretty much, and then Na is kind of like an M. Now, you might be thinking, why is Na an M? I don't know. God forbid I ever know. That's the way they write in Malayalam. Ma we'll get to eventually later. That's kind of a tricky one, and you can see why I put it low on the list. Spot number 7 gets us La, which is this one. It's kind of like a lowercase e, and then you kind of like put it up there, basically. La is kind of like that one that kind of almost got me. But, truth be told, if you make like the circle thing a bit lower, it actually kind of looks okay. It doesn't look too bad. It's just kind of a straight line with a bunch of semicircle on top, so it's not really that difficult. So, La is okay. At spot number 8, we have Va or Wa. It's pretty much the same pronunciation, and it looks like this, basically. Again, not that difficult. It's pretty much just Ra, but with the tail now, it actually kind of does look similar to La, and actually that actually gets me to spot number 9 as well, which is Wa. The only difference is, or excuse me, not Wa, Pa. It's just this is pa, sorry, and this is va. So that's why basically they're essentially really similar, except pa has a smaller circle than va. Again, this can be a little bit confusing, but truth be told, it's not that difficult. Now at spot number 10, we have ma, and this is where things start to get a little complicated, but not too much. So it's basically just, if I can try to even write it, that is, it basically kind of looks like this. In a way, ma is kind of like one of those letters that is just a little bit. I had to like go to my phone and actually look how ma was written, but it basically looks like this. Anyway, when we get to I, I'll show you how this one. It's basically kind of like a semicircle within that, so it's still not that difficult, but it's kind of getting to the point where we are getting into the difficult letters now, and we can see that when we get into the more complex versions now. So this is just kind of the end of the easy letters for now. At spot number 11, we have ka, which is probably the first example of like very difficult letters. If I can even draw it, that is. It kind of looks like this, and it's pretty messy looking. I mean, I can't really draw it to the first ability. I mean, it's kind of like that one letter that obviously, if I have to rank this in an actual tier list, this would be in like the B tier. But you can already see how the letters start to look weird. The first 10 were just kind of easy because of like they had like 1 to 2 lines. So that's why ka's here at spot number 11. At spot number 12, we have ya, which is the, I can't really remember how you draw it. It basically looks like this, and then it kind of had like a curved loop going on here. It's very weird, like, it looks like that, but the curve actually kind of intrudes to the thing, which is kind of why I had to rank it lower, because I don't always connect it like this. Ya is just one of those letters that I feel like if they added it here, I feel like it would have been higher, but just because they didn't, that's why it ranks itself at spot number 12. So that's ya. Spot number 13 gets us sa, which is basically this. If I can even draw this one to my knowledge, it looks like this, and then it kind of curves down like this. It kind of looks like an elephant in a way, because you can kind of see how it does look like the top part of an elephant. It's just kind of difficult because it's basically like a curvy M, per se. It's not too difficult, but definitely compared to the ones before it, I think sa definitely deserves to be ranked in here. It's just kind of... What am I saying? Spot number 14 is actually a shocker of a letter that I actually didn't expect to be this lower. And that's actually ha, which is this and this. I was surprised at why this one was so low, but then I remembered that it's kind of hard to actually write this with a lot of the other variants of letters. Like if you're writing like, when you get to I, this is ha is just kind of like that one. It's basically the Malayalam counterpart for H, basically, but obviously this looks nothing like an H, so I don't know why. I feel like that's because of that reason it goes at spot number 14. It's not too difficult to draw, but granted, it's kind of weird looking. I don't like it. It's not very accurate, so that's why I ranked it here. Okay, spot number 15. It's a letter that I really don't like, and this is definitely where letters start getting harder, is ba, which is this letter, I believe. It's just a lot going on with it. I just don't like how much is going on here. It's basically like if they made pa bigger, you know? Or what am I saying? But yeah, it's just if they made pa a little bit more complex. So that's why ba is this low, and frankly, I don't ever want to see it again because of that. So yeah, it's ba for you. Spot number 16, which again kind of surprised me why low this is, and that is actually cha. Because the reason it's so low is because it can get confused with the lowercase 2, which is kind of the reason. Well, lowercase 2, what am I saying? A 2. I'm confusing it for Pixel's video. But yeah, it can kind of get confused because you actually start it with a 2 and then add an L on it. So you can kind of get confused with like a 2 and an L. You basically just have to do that to make it a letter cha. So that's the reason why it's at spot number 16 and not much higher. Spot number 17 goes to a letter that I really don't like, and that is ja. I kind of forgot how to draw this one. Basically, it kind of goes like this. Kind of curves like that. And then, oh my god, that is such a messy letter. But that is ja. Oh my god. Now, it's not in the 30 range because there are letters that are way worse that will come up. But I was kind of shocked at the next placement for this, because when I was compiling the list, I wasn't expecting the next one to be this low. So let's actually talk about that one. The ja is definitely a more tricky one you're going to have to memorize if you want to learn how to write Malayalam. Shout out to my Indians, of course. Spot number 18 is ga, which is kind of just this letter. It's basically like a sideways S. The reason it's ranked lower is because it's just kind of weird. Like it needs to be like perfectly vertical to actually be considered a ga, not a sideways S. Like obviously this would be a sideways S. Ga is a bit more like longer on the sides, which is why it's kind of where it is on the list. Granted, I only ranked it under ja because ja is like a little bit more. I guess you could kind of like see how you could get away with it. I'm not gonna draw it again, of course, but that is God for you. Not really that difficult, but certainly not the easiest. Spot number 19 will get us fa, which is this, and then it kind of like curves off and makes a loop here. That's what this one is. It's not that difficult. In fact, it pretty much just looks like the other letter. I forgot which one. Ha. Yeah, it looks like ha, but now there's a line closed off of it. But they're fairly simple. The only reason why this is ranked lower is because that if you write a word next to it, it can get a little confusing with that. So that's kind of the reason why fa is this low. And it has to have a loop and an extra line, which is kind of the reason why it's here, not much higher. Spot number 20 gets us sha, and this one is also, I don't remember if you had to draw. It basically looks like ga, but with like an extra line now. It kind of looks like this. But again, this can get kind of messy if you're not drawing it correctly. Sha is just one of those letters that, like, if you're talking about like sham, like for example sham or something like that, it's not that of that nature where it's just gonna be like that easy to replicate, especially when you're writing in Malayalam. So that's the reason I like that where it is. Which actually goes into spot number 21, which is sha, not sha. It's just sha. It's basically the same thing. But it's not the same letter per se. Sh is a bit more difficult. It looks like that. Sh and sha, like you can always tell like sh does not look anything like that letter. Sh is a different letter that they sometimes use for like I don't know what they use it for, but like it's just a little bit weird. I feel like these two can get confused between their name, but they look like sort of. If you're wondering, this is sh with like the kind of like, imagine that as like a staccato or something like that, and this one is sha, like you have to pronounce it a bit more. So they have the same pronunciation, it's just one of them is longer than the other, and they look entirely different. So that's why it's ranked a little bit lower, but granted, I'm surprised they actually came right underneath each other. Spot number 22 gets us da, which is basically an S. I don't know why they call it da, because this is literally an S. But the reason it's also ranked a bit lower is pretty much because of its confusion with the other letters. If you remember, we had some other letters. I don't remember if you had. Remember we had ga. Basically, ta is like the. Da is basically like the shifted version of it. It literally looks like S. So that's why it's here. It just can get confused with S, which is why it's here. Now at spot number 23, we have da, which is da, not the one we were talking about before. It's da. So basically, it looks like this. It's kind of like a W, and you add like a lowercase n to it. The reason it's kind of difficult is because you can obviously it can confuse with like a cursive U or something like that. You can clearly see like the U in here or like a W in here, so it can get confused because of that, which is why da is here at spot number 23 and not much higher. So yeah. Now at spot number 24 we have tha, not the other one. I'm not talking about tha that looked like the other weird symbol. I'm not talking about this one. That's ta. Tha looks way different. It actually kind of looks like this. I believe it's just, I don't know, a replicate of la, but basically flipped on its side. I don't know. It's just really weird looking, and it's actually kind of hard to replicate because you have to get like the curve exactly right here, which is why it's at spot number 24, not much lower. So that's the reason why tha is there. Spot number 25 gets us ka, which is, I don't actually remember, how does it look like? Yeah, it's this letter. It's just a little bit more complicated. It basically has a 6, it's like a 62, and you kind of merge the 62 together, and then you add like an L on it. Basically, that's how my interpretation would be to look like. But again, because it can be confused with other letters in the English alphabet, is why I ranked it so low here. But it's in difficult. It's not that difficult to draw, but you can kind of see why I placed it at spot 25. Okay, spot 26 is a letter that is, in my opinion, one of the hardest to draw. Now we're actually getting into letters that I think are really, really difficult, and that is ga. It basically looks like if I could even draw it, it's like a little curve here, then it kind of like does that. It's a bit difficult because you need to kind of get the curve right. It's actually supposed to be it's supposed to be way more curvy. It's supposed to look like this. Guy's like a little bit of a weird one. You can already tell we're kind of getting into the difficult letters now at this one. We have like 9 more to go, and I'm already struggling on this one. So that's why Guy's here at spot number 26. Spot number 27 goes to Ba, which is this letter. Basically, it kind of looks similar to a letter we've already done. I don't remember which one it was. Basically, it's like a circle and a 3. It kind of actually looks like Ra from the English one. But again, this can get confused with the 3, obviously, because it looks like it has a 3 on the other end of it. So kind of why I put Ba a little bit higher, or excuse me, a little bit lower than normal. It's just kind of weird looking, and I don't like how the fact that it has like numbers in the letters. It just has like that 3 there. Oh, Da was the other one it looked like. Yeah, Da looked like this, and basically Ba has like the loop in it. They're really similar, but again, because of the confusion with English letters is the reason why. This one I only ranked higher because it kind of looked like a B without the curved line, but I guess you could kind of get away with it. Actually, now thinking about it, B, Ba, it kind of actually makes more sense to do it like that. B and Ba, you know what? I kind of like it. Sorry about my whiteboard. God damn it. Give me 1 second. Okay, fix that. It's okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Spot number 28 we are on. It goes to Na. Na basically looks like this. It's like a 6, an R, and a 3. Basically kind of looks like this in a way. I don't know. It just kind of looks like a 6 and an R and a 3, which is kind of the reason you can kind of get confused with that. But if you think about it, you're pretty much just connecting all of them together to make this letter. So, but it's just kind of weird when Nya is like a kind of one that I really don't like at all. I don't know why they're combining English letters to make the Malayalam alphabet. That's weird. Spot number 29 goes to Cha, which is not Cha. It's not actually a letter that I think we've gotten to before. Cha basically looks like this. You start off with like the 2 from Cha, not Cha, not Cha. But Cha, remember, had to look like this. Cha looks more like this. You're kind of adding on letters here. I don't actually. This is just. It's like a combination of 2 letters. Oh yeah, it's a combination of like the old Cha and Ra. Cha is a bit more like, and it's written like this, by the way. The other Cha was just written like this, which is the reason why this is a bit more lower. All right, with 6 letters to go. These are definitely the hardest ones because spot number 30 gets us. Sorry about that. It gets us Ja, not the other Ja. We're not going about the. It's the worst version of Ja. It's this basically. It starts off with a Na, and it kind of like. I don't know, and it kind of also has like the Da kind of curving off with it, so it looks like that. I feel like they're just combining 2 letters at this point. What the hell are they doing? I don't know. I feel like that could get very confusing. That's why freaking Ja is this high. Or this low. Okay, spot number 31. Don't worry, we're almost done here. It goes to Na. Na. Not the other one. It looks like this, basically. And oh my god, there's a lot going on here, which is kind of the reason why it's this low. In fact, it's actually supposed to be more like down like this. It's just, I don't know. There's a similar letter, which we will get to. Actually, there's not. I was going to say kind of looks like this. Is not in this list for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, it's just kind of weird looking. And the thing, yeah, kind of looks like that. Okay, spot number 32 gets us La. Basically looks like a 6 with a 3 again. But the difference is it kind of has like this curve going down it. So it's kind of like it's kind of like multiple numbers. Like you can tell that this is a 2, this is a 3, this is a 6. You can imagine how confusing it would be to write this freaking letter. It's just I don't even know. La is just kind of like that one that or La. Sorry, I didn't realize it had an accent there. It's La, not La. La is like a completely different letter, which I don't even know why. Oh yeah, this was La. Sorry about that. This is La, if you don't want to get too confusing, but apparently Malayalam has like those letters that sound very similar. Yeah, that's why. Okay, spot 33. This is when it starts getting difficult. the only Malayalam letter that has the counterpart to Z, and that is za, which is this. And I don't know why this looks like za, because you can clearly tell this looks like a Y or a 4. You can clearly tell there's a Y in there, and I just kind of added a 9 to it. This is not a Z Malayalam. What are we doing here? I don't know why this even looks like Ziza, Ziza. I don't even. Just why? Literally, just why? Why? Like, okay, pun over. Get over it. It's a horrible letter. Moving on. Now, if you thought that was bad, spots 34 and 35 are going to be ridiculous. These are definitely the hardest letters to draw in Malayalam. But spot number 34 gets us ksa, which is, I can't even explain how you draw it. It's basically like the other version of ksa, basically. But it's like 2 letters combined now, pretty much into one. But it is 1 letter. Kasa is just 1 letter mixed with these 2 letters. It's very difficult to get this right. I can't believe Kasa is like basically, and it's not the other version of Kasa. It's not what you're thinking. But Kasa is just that letter that I don't even know why it even exists. It's just literally combining 2 letters that I think we've already done. I don't know exactly which one. Yeah, ka. This is ka, basically. And the other one, I don't remember what it was. It was sha, I think. This is like part of sha. And the whole word is literally sa. Like, that's how you write it. Like, it looks horrible. And I don't want to think about it anymore. So that's why it's spot number 34. And it's in the bottom range. Oh, but you thought we were done? No, sirree. There is 1 letter in Malayalam that is so hard to write that I couldn't just believe what it was. You know what that letter is? Oh my god, if I can even write it. Jna. Jna is a very, very hard letter. Jna is like the typical, why does this even exist? I can't even write it normally. This is by far the hardest Malayalam letter to ever see. Jna is like literally Jna. I don't even know how you pronounce it in Malayalam, but I mean, why is there so much going on here just for 1 letter? It's like very complex. Kasa was at least kind of okay, but this letter? Oh my god, what are we doing here? So, I can't even believe, I mean, granted, I don't think people actually ever use this letter that much, so thank God for that. And it's not like Ja, where it was just like, Ja just had like kind of a loop in the belly. It wasn't that bad. Kasa was just pretty horrible because it just kind of had a circle and it kind of looked like that, but I feel like it could kind of get away with it. But Jana, which is written like Jana, which is written like this, by the way, J&A, it's just horrible, and that's the reason it ranks the lowest on this list. So, yeah, no more discussion needed. Okay, so that was my ranking of all the Malayalam letters in the Malayalam alphabet, based on how you can write them. This has been a 23-minute long video because there's 35 letters in the Malayalam alphabet and it didn't want to take too long. But this was inspired by Pixel's ranking alphabet letters and also Stefano's ranking Greek letters by how you can capitalize them. So please go check out their videos as well, and I will see you guys next time. If you guys know any other languages, you can check out some of the other channels below. See you guys.